Training camp is fully underway, Bucs fans. If you're excited, like as excited as I am, make sure to hit the subscribe button. You're watching Bucs Breakdown presented by PrizePicks. Make sure to use code HMA. If you win that first $5 lineup, you get $150 in bonus lineups. My name is Reid Bartkus. You're watching Bucs Breakdown. Thank you so much for watching today. Wherever you're watching, whenever you're watching, hope you're having a great day because let's talk about the biggest takeaways so far from Bucs training camp. Now, I know, I'm sorry, the last video that we've posted, I think, was on Friday, and it is Tuesday. So if you didn't know, I am still a producer here at Chat Sports. So I try and give you guys the best possible content on my time that I have during the days. So I figured we could just clump everything together that has happened so far after the multiple days of training camp, the wet days too, as it's raining in Tampa Bay, and they've been working inside a lot. But I just want to talk about it, right? This is what this show is all about, a place for you guys to come talk about the news going on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not an insider. I'm not in Tampa Bay, so I'm getting all this stuff from the people who are boots on the ground, who I will give huge shout-outs to in today's show. But if you're looking for all breaking news stories that I'm gonna break news to you, that's not why we're here. We're here. I'm a fan giving fan content to fans just like you guys. So let's talk about what's going on at Bucs training camp. Alex Anzalone, he's going to produce. Now, when I say he's going to produce, obviously, you know, right? Oh, he's going to play the game and stuff like that. But, like, going from Lavonte David to a free agent linebacker who has never been on this team before, it's a little daunting, right? And I understand that. But what I've seen out of training camp so far, Alex Anzalone is understanding the defense and understanding it's going to take some time, right? Because Greg Allman, shout out to Greg Allman. God, he's actually on Pewter Report tonight if you guys want to go check that out. But he says camp is a marathon, so he's just focused on each practice and correcting mistakes as he goes, which I really, really love that because when it comes to Alex Anzalone, he's stepping into a huge pair of shoes, right? In terms of the middle linebacker position, Lavonte David, a legend in Bucs history. There's a lot of shoes to fill, or a lot of space in those shoes, right? Lavonte David, there's no replacing Lavonte David. But the production that he's had, you can replace that. And I think Alex Anzalone is a great option in that sense. And I think when it comes to new guy on the defense and sort of having to be that green dot guy, he's very, very, very good in terms. I have high hopes for Alex Anzalone, and he's showing that in training camp for sure. Now, the second thing I want to talk about on today's show, the wide receiver room is just fine. Yes, we lose number 13, but I think a lot of people, maybe not Bucs fans, maybe some Bucs fans, but I think the NFL media is like, oh, Bucs wide receiver room is screwed because they don't have Mike Evans anymore. I think we're going to be all right. Brianna Dix from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, she's a staff writer. Shout out to her. She quoted this on her takeaways from the Buccaneers training camp. Said Tez Johnson has been a breakout camp and has been a go-to target for both Baker Mayfield and Jake Browning with elite agility, early acceleration into routes, quick, sharp breaks underneath, and finesse after the catch. Johnson adds another dimension to Zach Robinson's offense. Now, I love to hear this, right, guys? Tez Johnson is not a huge factor in this offense, and I don't think we're expecting him to be a starting wide receiver, but when he's making plays in camp, that is exactly what I want to hear, right? Because obviously Emeka Egbuka is going to be your wide receiver one, and Jalen McMillan is stepping up in camp as well, which is huge. But Chris Godwin's stepping up as well. Everyone as a collective whole in a unit are all making plays and doing very, very well, which I love to hear. Now, it's going to take a collective group to sort of bolster that production that Mike Evans had because we can't shy away from the fact that Mike Evans was very, very good when he was healthy and playing on the field. Now, when we have Chris Godwin stepping up and saying, hey, you know, I was the same player when Mike Evans was here. Nothing's going to change. I just think that group as a whole has a little bit more of an idea of what they're going to do in 2026 when it comes to what life after Mike Evans is going to be. And the fact that everyone is making plays and everyone's stepping up, especially Tez Johnson, who in Zach Robinson's offense, that motion is going to be huge for Tez Johnson. I think that's where he's going to come into this offense. So seeing that he's making plays, I love it. I really, really love it. And I have confidence in this wide receiver room. But I want to ask you guys, scale it 1 to 10, what is your confidence level in the Buccaneers wide receiver room heading into 2026? 1 being, I'm terrified, or 10 being, we're good, I'm super confident. Now, before we get started with the rest of the things I want to talk about on training camp, I got to give a huge shout out to our sponsor. And one of the reasons why we are watching this for free is our friends over at SeatGeek. If you guys are trying to get out of the house, there's not a better time to do it with SeatGeek. Today's show is made possible by SeatGeek. When it's time to get out of the house, like I said, there's not many better options than a ball game or a concert or a festival. And you can use code CHAT10 to get 10% off your next set of tickets. Now, the MLB trade deadline, that was crazy, right? There's a lot of people on different teams now. So if you guys want to go watch a game, you can do that with SeatGeek. Now, if you want to go watch the Rays as well, you can do that. But if you're like, Reid, this is a Tampa Bay Buccaneers show, I want to go watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have tickets available right now online at SeatGeek. And the best part about SeatGeek, too, you can see right here, when you pick the seat that you want to do, and it's a green one, right? Because green means good, red means a bad deal. So look for the green deals. You can look what your view is going to be when you buy that ticket, before you buy that ticket. Isn't that awesome? SeatGeek has your back because each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. And of course, I have a code for you guys. You can use code CHAT10 to get 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any set of tickets with promo code CHAT10. Just click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you so much to SeatGeek. All right. So like I said, the wide receiver room, completely fine. And then the people that they're going up against are completely fine as well. Maybe not completely fine, but Antoine Winfield is cooking, man. He looks like the Antoine Winfield that we gave that contract to, right? Brianna Dix, again, talking about what we're doing at training camp. And during 11-on-11 work, Antoine Winfield came up with an interception. Jalen McMillan ran a go route, and Winfield matched him stride for stride as the ball arrived and McMillan turned around. Winfield put his hands up to contest the catch window and managed to come down with the football as he worked the sideline. This is exactly what I want to hear. When it comes to the secondary, that free safety, Tyke Smith and Antoine Winfield are our strong suits, right? Jacob Parrish, yes. Zion McCollum, yes. But when it comes to Benjamin Morrison and everybody on this depth chart, I think the free safety and the safety are the strongest points. And the fact that Antoine Winfield is really stepping up and turning heads in terms of being the Antoine Winfield that we know, feels like he's coming out of hiding, right? And last year, he didn't do terribly, but I just wanted a little bit more, and it feels like he's fast, he's quick, he's back to the Antoine Winfield that we know, and we need that, especially with a captain being on the defense. Levante David gone, Antoine Winfield can sort of step up a little bit and be that veteran presence that we need on defense to help Alex Anzalone and sort of, I don't even know the word, just corralling everybody on the defense, especially with some new guys like Reuben Bain and some younger guys. So I really love to see that Antoine Winfield is cooking. Speaking of Reuben Bain and, foreshadow for the rest of the show. But the D-line position battle. This is kind of fun, right? Now, not necessarily fun because of one defensive lineman that is not practicing, you know why. But Greg Allman saying Bucs have a good competition for the last D-line spots. Roberts, Capehart seems safely on the 53. Nacho, Elijah Simmons, Jason Jones, rookies battling for the last spot or two. Now, I love that, right? Ashawn Robinson, obviously get him in free agency. He's going to be that big boy in the middle. Probably if Vita Vea gets traded, but Kalijah Cansey as well, one of the younger guys on the defensive line coming back from injury last year. We bring back Rakeem Nunez-Roches. We draft DeMonte Capehart. Elijah Roberts is there as well. Elijah Simmons. And I don't know if Shaw is still there. I have to update this depth chart possibly. But Jason Jones as well. Like, there's a lot of guys here who are fighting for a spot that could possibly be open, right? We don't know with the Vita Vea situation who steps up if he does end up getting traded. And I love to see the competition there. And there was one-on-one drills yesterday when it was pouring rain with a bunch of people going at it, one-on-ones in terms of D-line and offensive line, just really going competition-wise. And I love to see that because we need to see who can step up. And the defensive line last year, I think, was a little bit of a weakness when it came towards the end of the season, especially against the Carolina Panthers in that last game. They ran all over us. So if Vita Vea gets traded, who's going to step up? The competition there, I love to see that. Last thing I want to talk about, I kind of alluded to it a little bit, was great reps for Reuben Bain Jr. Now, he was getting to the passer, and he was getting in the backfield a lot, right? But the big thing that he even talked about when they talked to him after practice was he's been fortunate to be able to work against Luke Gedeke and Tristan Wirfs when he's cleared. I feel like I got my welcome to the NFL moment. Now, that's huge because Reuben Bain Jr., we obviously know, is a menace and is going to be absolutely great this year. But him being able to learn from and sort of get reps against guys like Luke Gedeke and the best tackle in the game probably in Tristan Wirfs, I think so. This is really, really good. And by the way, if you guys are looking for some cool gear to start off the season and training camp as well, we still have our Tampa Bain shirts for $29.99, chatsports.com/Bain. If you guys don't have it already, make sure to go ahead and do so. But, I mean, Reuben Bain is going to be fantastic this year, and the fact that he's getting reps against these guys is huge for his development. And I think he's not going to jump off the page in training camp. He already is. It's hard to jump off the page when you're already Reuben Bain Jr., but those developmental reps, I think, are really, really important, and I love that he's getting those. Now, I got a little bit more to end off today's show, but you are watching this show for completely free because of our fantastic sponsors, and one of our other sponsors is PrizePicks. Now, if you guys haven't got started with PrizePicks already, I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys are missing out on a really fun way to watch sports because PrizePicks is America's #1 sports picks app, as well as mine since 2022. If you want a chance to win some money while watching your favorite sports, maybe not even you're watching your favorite sports, just some sports that are out there, get started with our friends over at PrizePicks. The app is really simple to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. That's it. Now, if you guys did not know, PrizePicks does this cool thing called Taco Tuesday. And Taco Tuesday, what that means is they'll pick some stat projections that maybe they want to give a discount on. And that is what the taco is. So throughout the day, they will give discounts to other things. So you got to make sure you're on that app to know which discounts are happening. So right now we got Scooball, who is a brand new Los Angeles Dodger. He is the taco for today. It was originally at 7.5. Now it is at 6.5. So you take the more on that. And then Suzuki, you take the more on the hitting score right there. And then the same hitter fantasy score, you get the more on Fernando Tatis Jr. So look out for those tacos. I mean, PrizePicks has great deals all the time. So look out for it. If you haven't already, download the app today. And best of all, play your first $5 lineup. You get $150 in lineups if you win. So just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right, PrizePicks switched up their offer. So there's no better time to join than right now. Lock in and win that first lineup. That's code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 or more lineup. PrizePicks, code HMA, download the app now. So I will add, before we finish off today's show, we got a little bit of news at the end of today's show. But I just want to talk about the offense feels different. Now, it's not necessarily like, oh, it looks different. Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, it's going to look different because it's Zach Robinson. But, like, we needed a refresh, I think, after Josh Grisard. And Zach Robinson I think he has the perfect weapons for the offense that he wants to run, which is why he probably picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when interviewing for the offensive coordinator job. So I'm really excited to see what happens because he was talking about actually with Bucky Irving and Kenneth Gainwell getting them involved in the passing game. And he was actually talking about Bucky Irving in his press conference after and was like, He's a stud. I love him. He's going to do great in the passing game. He's going to be a great player. So the fact that he's just already utilizing him in different ways and in the ways that he knows he can use him, really love to see that. Really love to see that. So this sucks to see. When news happens in the NFC South, I just want to let you guys know, if you haven't seen already, Falcons' promising edge rusher Jalen Walker is feared to have torn his ACL per Ian Rappaport. A potential brutal injury for this defense. He will have an MRI to confirm the injury, but it looks like it's an ACL. You just hate to see this. You really do. There's nothing that hurts me more than watching young, fun players get injured, right? You never want to see that, especially when they're an NFC South rival and you want to beat your rivals at their best. I think that's a fair thing to say when, especially, the Falcons' D-line injuries, I don't know what they're going to do. They got Ontario Thompson, Deshaun Hand, Zach Harrison, and now Jalen Walker all out. Two of them on the NFI list, one out, and then now we got to see what's going on with Jalen Walker. And when you play them in Week 8, that's a big thing to think about. Now, it really hurts to see. I'm not saying that, now you don't have to plan for them and stuff, but that's the truth. You won't have to game plan for Jalen Walker if he's out. He's a menace in the backfield. That's just the thing. But you play them 2 times a year, not having to game plan against a guy who will make Baker Mayfield's life a lot harder. It's a fact, and you have to talk about that. And it really does suck. I'm not saying it's good news that he is hurt. It's just news in the NFC South that I think is important to talk about because it affects how the Buccaneers season could go, especially with winning the division now, because Panthers players are getting hurt, Falcons players are getting hurt. Who knows? The Saints, I don't even know what they're doing. Brian Brzee is getting hurt as well. So it's there's a chance to win this NFC South again because it's about to be the worst division in football. And let's be honest. So let's take advantage of that because why not, right? Because the Panthers barely won last year. Let's get it done this year. Thank you so much for watching to the end of today's show. You guys are real ones. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you made it to the end of today's show, that means we're doing something right here. So make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you love today's show, give it a like as well. If you didn't, let me know in the comments what I can do better. And as always, fire the cannons.